Welcome back to the Holy and Patriotic Jambalaya Show. Thank you for joining us, folks. I'm going to turn this over to Martha right now because we have a special guest on the phone that we're going to speak to. So, Martha, please introduce him, please.
Do we have Representative Chuck Owens on the line?
I am here along with Dr. Bartlett.
All right. Dr. Bartlett, are you with us?
I am.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And appreciate you gentlemen joining us today at WGSO. We're here, Holy and Patriotic Jambalaya. That's everything Louisiana. And we are always praying for Louisiana and the House, the representatives, and Representative Chuck Owens. We're praying for you here. And we thank you for the work that you're doing. We appreciate all the work that Dr. Richard Bartlett has done to get the truth out about C-19, COVID-19 policies that have already been implemented. And a lot of them have been implemented through fear mongering, not even through a reality. So tell us what's going to happen on September 25th at the House.
Well, thank you again for having Martha. The House of Representatives voted in the last session to hold oversight hearings to review the actions of government during COVID, the actions of state government. You know, our reach is only so far, but we voted to take a look at what the state of Louisiana did during COVID, with an eye to making sure that we're better prepared if, God forbids, that type of thing happens again. We believe that we need to face our failures and our successes and talk about them, and then to get from experts recommendations for need for structural change in the state and the code law. And so that's what we're doing. We're going to have 2 days of hearings. We're going to have some people from out of state. It'll be mostly people in Louisiana who lived and worked through COVID and who were, I would say, recipients of government policies. And quite frankly, the first day is going to be mostly physicians.
Okay. And Dr. Bartlett, you're going to participate in this, aren't you?
I am. You know, I met a great Louisiana gentleman, Ralph Abraham, when he was a small town doctor, is how he described himself, and a country doctor, and he is now the Surgeon General of Louisiana.
And I met him at the
beginning of COVID. And he was at the beginning of COVID, treating patients against the recommendations of the CDC and the FDA and the WHO. He was putting his patients first. People were coming across the state looking for him in a little town, and now he's the Surgeon General of Louisiana. I can tell you there are success stories in Louisiana, and there are things that can also be improved on. But Louisiana is a leader, and I am so grateful to be a part of this. Representative Owens is leading the charge right now to improve the next handling of the next pandemic.
Will in handling of the next pandemic, that's a little startling. That made me gotta jump back.
It's called plandemic.
Can I ask you a question? How do we get to the point to where when a physician puts his patient's best interest in mind that they get in trouble for this? How did we get to that point?
Well, go ahead, Dr. Bartlett.
Well, I can tell you, I'm from Texas, and so when I did an interview at the beginning of COVID in 2020, and I presented a winning strategy to treat COVID, I thought everybody would be excited. Right. And we had 5.5 million views in 10 days on YouTube, and YouTube pulled it. I think everybody's aware now that Mark Zuckerberg has admitted that he colluded with the government to censor life-saving treatment strategies and also to censor life-threatening risks with the COVID shots and other treatments that were pushed by the federal government. And so we've learned a lot in the last 4 years. And I'll tell you, the buffer is the state government can be the protection of the people in the state of Louisiana from dangerous strategies that were pre-scripted for a pandemic. There was an Event 201. If people get on the internet, they can look up Event 201, an event that happened 2 months before COVID, on how they were going to control the people during COVID and control the messaging and the propaganda. Event 201. And so we saw people like Dr. Ralph Abraham, who just put the person that was in front of him first and did not care what the WHO said, did not care what the CDC said.
How it should
and
be.
There's heroes in Louisiana, and so we need to talk about what went right.
We do, and that's also a big part of the equation. We're going to be discussing successes, encouraging successes. More than anything else, we're going to be reminding everyone who will listen that the Constitution of the United States is still in effect, that liberty is still in effect, and no one has the right to get between a physician and his or her patient. And that went on, and we're going to have doctors who are going to come there, and they're going to talk about how they were pushed around by the Louisiana Department of Health, by the board, by the Medical Licensing Board, and other people, basically threatening their livelihood. It's still going on at the national level. National boards are decertifying some of our doctors because of things that they've said publicly. And we need to talk about this, and we need to speak of it. We need to speak of the organizations, and if necessary, the names of the people who did it.
I remember when Dr. Qatar was in the House, and I was there. I remember the date, actually. It was August 16th, 2021. I remember it because it's my dad's birthday. So, and he was saying, talking about all of the policies and everything that is in effect. And really, he had no clue what was really going on. It was startling.
Well, we just have to be open, and we have to have full transparency as to what our laws are and what the expectations are and what the rights of citizens are. And we also need to drill down on what laws were violated, because I think a lot of laws were violated during this thing, especially under the broad heading of the emergency use authorization rubric. Most people who were given COVID shots were not told that they were being given experimental drugs. Mm-hmm. They're supposed to be told that. They were not. Hardly ever.
They never isolated the virus either, right, Dr. Barlett?
Well, I think it comes down to individual patient rights were trampled. Things that are understood to be your right, your body, your choice, bodily autonomy, where you get to choose what treatment you want or don't want, and informed consent, meaning you are supposed to be told every treatment option, the risk and benefit of every treatment option, and if you have a financial conflict of interest, if you have some investment in one of the treatments that you're pushing. And right. that was trampled. Nuremberg Code is international law about human experimentation. People were not. It has 10 points to the Nuremberg Code after World War II because the Nazis did human experimentation, and people were hung for the human experimentation against people's wills without giving informed consent. All 10 of those points of the Nuremberg Code have been violated during COVID on purpose. And so Representative Owen is correct. International law has been violated. National laws have been violated. And unraveling this on a state level, the state legislature can run interference for the good people of Louisiana. And they have. During COVID, they did something exceptional. They created the Office of Surgeon General to be an advocate for the people's health and welfare of Louisiana, and they put an excellent doctor, Dr. Ralph Abraham, in that position. So I am very impressed with what Louisiana has done. There's more to do, and we need to have some checks and balances, some safety measures put back in, and that's what we're going to be doing.
Well, Louisiana does really appreciate Mr. Ralph Abraham, Dr. Ralph Abraham. He's an incredible physician, and he loves Louisiana.
I guarantee you one thing: if he actually won the election, but good old John Bel Edwards, when Orleans Parish came in, he cheated. And if Dr. Ralph Abraham would have won the governor's election, we wouldn't have went through these draconian mandates like we did with John Bel Edwards Obama.
I think you're right.
Just today, the Surgeon General of Florida has used his platform to put out the facts about the COVID shots and to recommend against receiving the RNA shots because of science. And he listed all the links to the scientific studies that validate his right concerns. That's the power of a state surgeon general. So kudos to Representative Owen and the other members of legislature that created the Surgeon General's position. It's going to be a valuable resource for the welfare of the people of Louisiana
And
against
also,
the CDC.
Also, I will say we have a
Gentlemen, can you hang on a second, gentlemen? We have to go to
Yeah.
a commercial break, so please hang with us. We have another segment left. Guys, you're listening to the Holy and Patriotic Jambalaya Show. We'll be right back.
Hello, Christian Patriots. Want to invest in gold and silver at cost? Well, you've come to the right place. At Cost Metals. At costmetals.com. You can purchase gold and silver at much lower prices than the leading metals exchanges. Call 985-469-1188 or email huck@wgso.com or flamingconservative@wgso.com. And right now, At Cost Metals has a new coin, the Trump assassination coin. You do not want to miss this coin at costmetals.com.
Hey, everybody, this is Mike from the Holy and Patriotic Jambalaya Show. If you need to convert your existing bathtub into a step-in shower, call my friends at A New Beginning Refinishing. They can repair and refinish any type of bathtub or shower, no matter the size of the repair. A New Beginning Refinishing has been using a new high-gloss casting porcelain coating, guaranteed to never peel. They also offer a unique service called the Tub Cut, which is a fraction of the cost of replacement, and adding a grab bar installation and a slip-resistant surface helps to improve accessibility, reduce accidents, and helps people remain in their home as long as possible. Call A New Beginning Refinishing, LLC for a free estimate at 985-279-5103 or visit their website at www.anewbeginningrefinishing.com. Or you can visit their showroom in Hollycrest Plaza at 600 North Highway 190, Suite 2 in Covington. That's A New Beginning Refinishing, LLC at 985-279-5103.
What does grace mean to you? At Grace at the Green Light, a 501c3 nonprofit, we believe that everyone deserves a hot meal, clean drinking water, and the chance to go home again. Our work is made possible through the generous support of Christ Church Cathedral, the Cathedral Church of the Episcopal Diocese of Louisiana. Christ Church Cathedral acts in support of community renewal and socio-economic justice. Learn more at cccnola.org.
Negative news got you down? Tune in at 4 o'clock on Thursdays and turn your life around. Only good vibes on WGSO 990 AM.
Hey, Mimi, we love Wednesdays, but we're moving to a new time.
Listen to He Said, She Said, Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
Right here on WGSO.
Chef Jamie Gwen here. Tune in for delicious conversation and let me feed your soul every Sunday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. right here on WGSO 990 AM, the community voice of the Crescent City.
When the time came, I knew I had to find a place where Mom would be safe and active while still feeling independent. A place that was close to all of us and everything she needed. Locally owned and operated in the heart of Gonzales, I found Francois Ben's Senior Living. They specialize in independent and assisted living and memory care.
Call 225-647-BEND for more information on our special pre-leasing offers.
Francois Ben Senior Living. Experience life as it should be.
Welcome back to Holy and Patriotic Jambalaya, everything Louisiana. We have Representative Chuck Owens on the line and Dr. Richard Barlett. So, Representative Chuck Owens, what were you saying before we went on break?
I was saying, Dr. Bartlett was commenting on Dr. Abraham. What I want to say that anything else that we do and everything else that we do is also in the wheelhouse and with the full concurrence, to my understanding, of Governor Landry, because he was all about freedom during the shutdown, and so was his Solicitor General, now Attorney General Liz Murrill. I mean, they are both even-handed people They're about following the law. They're about doing the right things. And I don't think that they're overly concerned about politics or political correctness. And I have every confidence that going forward, Louisiana is going to be a beacon of liberty. Our legislature's moved in the right direction. We have a great speaker in Philip de Villiers who authorized this, who helped me get this through the House. The unanimous vote. Every member of the House, every Democrat and Republican, voted to do this study. It's just the House, and so we're going to do our diligence. We're gonna find out what was done, and we're gonna chart a path for our state.
Is there a committee that was formed? Is this study? Tell us a little bit about the plan.
But it's going to touch a number of things, ma'am. It's going to touch health and hospitals. It's going to touch education. It's going to touch the actions of the executive branch. And so what we decided to do is, because that could be 3 different committees out there. So what we've done is it was put under the heading of the Homeland Security Committee, which is a special committee that can be used for moments just like this. The chairman is Jay Galley over there on the North Shore. Jay is a wonderful guy. He's a former weatherman from the New Orleans area, as I understand it, former Marine. He is a very, very strong leader. He is highly engaged in this. We got a lot of other strong pro-liberty conservatives on this committee.
I've had the honor of meeting Jay.
Sir?
I've had the honor of meeting Jay at the Capitol sometime last year. Great guy.
He is. He's a good guy. So we're looking forward to an open, clear hearing and let people come and talk when they haven't had a chance to talk before. And look, what I'm gonna address down any state agency that says, I mean that I hear was harassing these physicians, because that's got to stop. That has got to stop, and that needs to be spoken of in public.
Will you all invite Dr. Peter McCullough?
I am open to anybody. We have 2 good days, but I would certainly love it, if Dr. McCullough could make time for us.
Yeah, Peter's a colleague of mine in Texas, and actually we're 2 of the 3 doctors that are on the board of a nonprofit that sued the FDA for the Pfizer shot data. And when we did that, one of the things we're going to present is the reality that they tried to hide the evidence from the American people for 75 years. They said, we have the information you want. Legally, we're supposed to give it to you, but we don't want the American people to see this for 75 years.
Wow.
And so I was in federal court in Fort Worth that day that the federal judge forced them to release the information. And we found that Pfizer had made a list of 1,200 diseases that are associated with their product that they did not tell the public about, and the FDA did not want the American people to know about for 75 years. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the fact that the OSHA safety data sheets show that 5 ingredients that are in the COVID shots are not for human or veterinary use. It's in bold text on the OSHA safety data sheets. They're supposed to be protecting the public.
I was telling Martha and John on the break, you were talking about Nuremberg. I think we need to hang a few people here and let them know, to get our point across, that this is totally unacceptable.
Well, I'll tell you, what affected people in Louisiana is Fauci lied,
and
people died. And
right.
So it's time to pick a side. And I do see that the CDC has lied, and the CDC has a pattern of human experimentation. They did the Tuskegee experiments in the 60s and 50s, where they injected young black men with syphilis and watched them slowly die over decades without telling them they did it and without offering treatment, just to watch the course of the disease and watch them lose their minds and go insane with tertiary syphilis.
Yes, our government did that. Our government was complicit in that, and there's supposed to be laws to prevent that now.
And there's a special place in hell for people like that.
We need to ensure we're better in Louisiana, and send a signal to the federal government that we're not participating in any more of their deception.
And during COVID, the CDC lied to the American people. It was the CDC director, Rochelle Walensky, that said, if you get the COVID shot, you will not get COVID.
That's a lie.
So they lied over and over again. They did not disclose the ingredients of the COVID shots. We have a Florida Surgeon General, Joe Latipo, who has laid it out on the website for the Florida Department of Health, all the reasons why and all the dangers, the science, the studies, the evidence, which you will have not heard yet from Fauci or the CDC to the American people. All you hear is propaganda. And people died in Louisiana blindly following CDC, WHO, which is an un-American, anti-American branch of the UN. And thank God for leaders in Louisiana right now that are saying, we're going to draw a line in the sand and we are going to make sure things are right. We're going to look at lessons learned and we're going to make corrections.
And real quick, just so your listeners know this, we did pass a law this year, and Governor Landry signed it. We passed a bill. Governor Landry signed into law that the Louisiana is not obliged to listen to the World Health Organization. They have no authority here. We put that down. It should go without saying.
Right.
It goes without saying to me that they don't have any authority over us. But we sure coddled them. We sure seem to coddle them. But now we have a new law that says we don't, and we will not.
What's that bill number? Do you remember?
I don't know. Kathy Edmonston wrote it.
I do recall that. I'll look it up. Okay.
Should be like that for every state.
Yeah.
It should be. I want to say, as someone who's not in Louisiana, I'm proud of what you've done in Louisiana. You are the tip of the spear as far as freedom and medical patient rights. Compared to other states, you have passed laws that others have attempted and failed. And so congratulations, Representative Owen. And there's more to do. And
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm very excited about the future.
Yeah. We need to be very thankful for the representatives that are putting their neck out there, like Kathy Edmonston and yourself, Chuck Owens, and even Senator Valerie Hodges. We have quite a few of them. Danny McCormick. I mean, these are frontliners. They're definitely, doing what's right for we, the people of Louisiana, and protecting our rights and, showing us what they're leading by example. So thank you so much for that.
Well, thank you for your kind words. Thank you for having me today.
Hey, Representative Chuck.
Yep.
Mr. Owens, I like to see John Bel Edwards be brought up on federal charges for his lies and deceit whenever we get the right person in the White House.
Well, I'm not a lawyer or a prosecutor. I don't know what to say to that other than we're in a new day right now, and Jeff Landry is in the big house, and he is on the 4th floor, and Liz Murrell is our attorney general, and we are turning the page in Louisiana. Look, the rot in Louisiana is deep. We have so much of administrative state. I don't know if y'all saw this or not. I don't want to take too much time, but the state of Louisiana a couple of weeks ago paid for advertisements for the Mpox vaccine. And it was done without LDH leadership knowing it. There's just an office in there that took a federal grant, and as a component of us taking this vaccine, this stockpile, this vaccine, we had to advertise in the state. And we spent $150,000 of federal money, not state money, but no one even knew it happened until we were driving down the road. And so, needless to say, several of us have had conversations with the governor's office, with LDH. They're going to get to the bottom of this, and this is going to stop.
Well, thank you so much.
We are not going to be a tool of the federal government.
That's right. That's right. Thank you so much. We want you to come back to Holy and Patriotic Jambalaya. We appreciate both of you, and the Lord bless you. We'll see you.
Thank you so much, gentlemen.
Thank y'all.
God, family, and country. Tomorrow
on W3Z Hotline, John will do his show, the debut show of Southern Rock. Have a good night, folks.